The alarm clock went off. Jasmine sighed. Another day was beginning. She felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. The daily routine was relentless, and each morning seemed harder than the one before. Work, kids, bills, the never-ending cycle of responsibilities. Each task seemed to multiply, and time was never enough. There was never enough time or energy. The exhaustion was more than physical, it was emotional and mental. The burden of being a single mother was overwhelming. Jasmine looked at herself in the mirror. She saw the fatigue etched on her face. She barely recognized the woman staring back at her. She wondered how she had gotten to this point. "Mommy, I can't find my shoes." Her daughter's voices snapped her out of her thoughts. "It's okay, honey, we'll find them." Despite her own exhaustion, she always found a way to comfort her children. The morning rush was a blur. The kitchen was a whirlwind of activity. Breakfast, backpacks, everything was chaos. Jasmine felt like she was on autopilot. She took a deep breath, preparing herself for the day ahead. She knew she had to keep going, for her children and for herself. In the midst of the chaos, she found a moment of calm. She closed her eyes and reminded herself that she was strong, that she could handle anything. She hugged her children, finding strength in their love. She knew that despite everything, they were her greatest motivation. With one last look in the mirror, she left the house, ready to face the day. It would be a long journey, but she was determined to overcome it. Work was its usual whirlwind of activity. The office was a hive of constant motion, with lawyers going from one task to another, phones ringing endlessly, and the murmur of conversations filling the air. Jasmine was a lawyer at a busy law firm. Her days were filled with answering calls, resolving cases, and trying to keep up with the endless stream of legal inquiries. The phones wouldn't stop ringing. The demands were relentless. Each call brought a new challenge, a new case to solve, and Jasmine had to stay alert and focused to keep up. Her supervisor, Mrs. Anderson, was a woman who didn't mince words. She ran a tight ship and expected nothing less than excellence from her team. She expected efficiency and results. Mrs. Anderson was known for her high standards and her ability to get the best out of her employees. One afternoon, Mrs. Anderson called Jasmine to her office. Jasmine's heart sank. She had been dreading this moment, fearing the worst. "Here it comes," she thought, bracing herself for criticism. She took a deep breath, trying to calm her nerves as she entered the office. But to her surprise, Mrs. Anderson's tone was different this time. Instead of her usual sternness, there was a hint of warmth and understanding in her voice. Jasmine felt a glimmer of hope, realizing that maybe, just maybe, things were about to change for the better. That night, Jasmine confided in her best friend Nia. It had been a long day, full of challenges. Jasmine felt overwhelmed, but she knew she could always turn to Nia for comfort. They had been friends since childhood, sharing countless memories and experiences that strengthened their bond. Nia was a beacon of positivity and support. She always knew the right words to lift Jasmine's spirits.
"Girl, you are amazing!" Nia exclaimed. "Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are a superwoman. You're raising 2 beautiful children on your own. You are strong and resilient."
Nia's words were like a balm to Jasmine's soul. She felt a peace she hadn't felt in a long time. For too long, she had focused on her problems and forgotten her own strength. "You know what? You're right. I need to start treating myself better and prioritize my well-being. I need to start believing in myself again. It's time to embrace my true potential."
A glimmer of hope shone in Jasmine's eyes. With Nia by her side, she knew she could handle anything. Nia's friendship reminded Jasmine that she was not alone on her journey. Together, they could overcome any obstacle. Jasmine decided to start writing down her thoughts and emotions, a step towards self-reflection and personal growth. With plans for new adventures and goals, Jasmine and Nia felt closer than ever. Meditation and self-reflection became essential tools for Jasmine, helping her find balance and clarity. Nia's laughter and companionship were a constant reminder of the beauty of true friendship. With newfound confidence and the unconditional support of her friend, Jasmine was ready to embrace her true potential and face any challenge.
Jasmine's journey of self-discovery was just beginning, but with Nia by her side, she knew the future was full of possibilities. The next day, Jasmine, a lawyer, decided to take a break. She needed some time for herself. She went to the park, found a quiet bench under a leafy tree, and closed her eyes. As she sat there, a wave of clarity washed over her.
You are worthy of love and happiness.
Jasmine thought about Nia's words. Could it be true? Could she allow herself to believe it? She deserved to be happy. She deserved to love herself. Jasmine decided to make a change. She started small. She started each day with positive affirmations.
I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm worthy.
The words felt strange at first, but she persisted. She set aside time for herself. She would read a book or listen to music. Jasmine also started paying attention to her physical health. She started taking short walks. She made healthier food choices. She even joined a yoga class. Jasmine, who worked as a lawyer, found a new balance in her life. At first, it wasn't easy. Old habits die hard. There were days when Jasmine felt overwhelmed and wanted to give up. But she kept reminding herself that she was worthy of self-love. Gradually, Jasmine began to notice the difference. She had more energy. She was less reactive to stress. She even found herself smiling more often. As Jasmine continued her self-love journey, she noticed positive changes in other areas of her life as well. She felt more confident in her job as a lawyer. She was more assertive in her interactions with others. One day, Mrs. Anderson called Jasmine to her office again. This time, Jasmine didn't feel a knot of fear in her stomach. She walked in with her head held high. Jasmine's transformation did not go unnoticed by her children. They saw her newfound confidence and joy. They began to imitate her self-care habits. Jasmine's heart swelled with joy. She wanted them to grow up knowing their worth.
Jasmine's self-love journey wasn't about achieving perfection, it was about embracing her imperfections. She learned that true self-love meant embracing all parts of herself. Jasmine realized that her journey was ongoing. Jasmine's self-love journey had transformed her life. She had found her voice. She had discovered her strength. She had learned to love herself unconditionally. And in doing so, she had opened herself up to a world of possibilities.
Self-love is not a destination, it's a journey. It is a continuous process of growth and self-acceptance. It's about embracing our authentic selves. It's about believing in ourselves. Jasmine's story is an inspiration to us all. It reminds us that no matter what challenges we face in life, we have the power to overcome them. We have the power to choose self-love. By embracing self-love, we unlock our true potential.